जाता है। और पहले तो मात्र 7 थे, अब बढ़ते बढ़ते जजों की संख्या बढ़ती गई। अब तो उसके बाद जितने कोर्ट्स होते हैं और सब तरह के मामलों का निष्पादन किया जाता है, ये अपने आप में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और जो काम यहाँ पर हुआ है, एक बात का हम जिक्र जरूर करना चाहेंगे। जब बिहार के लोगों ने हम लोगों को यहाँ पर काम करने का मौका दिया, तो उस समय से ही 2006 में पटना हाईकोर्ट की तरफ से भी मीटिंग की गई और किस तरह से अपराध पर नियंत्रण हो और तेजी से ट्रायल हो, और इसके लिए जो सब प्रयास किया गया। और हमारे जो उच्च न्यायालय के माननीय न्यायाधीशगण थे, जिनके जिम्मे जो जिला होता था, वो एक एक जिले पर नजर रखते थे कि तेजी से ट्रायल हो। और उसके चलते हुआ कि अपराध करने वालों को के बारे में कितने निर्णय हुए। और ये तो कोई भी चीज बात सामने आती है, ये देखना तो माननीय न्यायालय का काम है। वो देखेंगे, अगर संतुष्ट है कि ये बात सही है तो उसके ऊपर तो कितने लोगों को सजा मिली। और उसके चलते जो यहाँ बिहार में एक जो वातावरण था अपराध का, उस पर बहुत हद तक नियंत्रण हुआ। और इसके लिए हम लगातार बोलते रहे, ये सिर्फ सरकार की जिम्मेवारी नहीं है। ये जो न्यायालय ने काम किया, उसके चलते जो लोगों को सजा मिलनी शुरू हुई, तो बिहार में क्राइम की कमी आई। लेकिन फिर भी समाज में तो कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि चाहे कुछ भी कर दीजिए, चाहे जितना भी कानून बन जाए, न्यायालय से किसी को कितनी भी सजा हो जाए, सब कुछ हो जाए, लेकिन फिर भी कुछ लोगों की मानसिकता तो गड़बड़ होती है। और ये मनुष्य के स्वभाव में ही होता है। ज्यादातर लोग ठीक स्वभाव के होते हैं, लेकिन कुछ लोग गड़बड़ स्वभाव के होते हैं, तो वो तो कुछ करते ही रहते हैं। इसलिए कानून कब से बना है, सजा कितनों की होती है, तब भी कुछ ना कुछ अपराध होता ही रहता है। लेकिन हम तो यही प्रार्थना करेंगे कि कम से कम ये जो ट्रायल का काम है, वो तेजी से अगर चलता रहेगा, तो हम समझते हैं कि बहुत हद तक अपराध पर वो नियंत्रण लेगा। ये चीज तो हम लोग चाहेंगे। और हम लोगों को तो इतना ही कहेंगे कि साहब, कानून का राज स्थापित करना है तो ये कोई सरकार की जिम्मेवारी सिर्फ नहीं। सरकार का जो मौलिक काम है वो तो करता ही है, करेगा ही। लेकिन जो सबसे बड़ी बात है कि जब न्याय का प्रश्न है, तो इसके लिए जो जिम्मेवारी है न्यायपालिका को, तो यहां से ही जब कुछ होता है तभी इन सब चीजों पर नियंत्रण होता है। तो मेरे हिसाब से जो काम हो रहा है, हमको लग रहा है कि पूरे तौर पर सब कुछ है। और एक बात हम कह देना चाहते हैं, अभी हमारे माननीय मुख्य न्यायाधीश महोदय ने भी कहा, पटना उच्च न्यायालय ने, हम लोगों के पास जो भी प्रस्ताव आता है हम लोग उसको स्वीकार करते हैं। आगे भी आपको वचन देते हैं, जब तक हम हैं, काम करते हैं, हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, तब तक हम आपको इतना वादा करते हैं कि और भी जहां जो कुछ भी जरूरत है न्यायपालिका के लिए, जिस स्तर पर भी न्यायपालिका के लिए जरूरत है, और जो भी उसके लिए ज्यादा से ज्यादा नियुक्ति का मामला हो या भवनों के निर्माण का मामला हो, जो भी आप लोगों की तरफ से प्रस्ताव होगा, आप लोगों की तरफ से बात आएगी, हम लोग उसको तत्काल स्वीकार करके इस काम को प्राथमिकता देंगे और इस काम को हम लोग करते रहेंगे। क्योंकि न्यायपालिका सबसे जरूरी चीज है, सिर्फ सरकार की बात नहीं है। इसलिए सब लोगों को मिलकर के ये सब चीजों को जो काम करना है, तो आप सब लोगों को मालूम है कि साहब, विधायिका तो कानून बना सकता है, जो कार्यपालिका यानी सरकार की जो जिम्मेवारी है वो अपना काम करती है, लेकिन जो सबसे बड़ी भूमिका संविधान के मुताबिक वो न्यायपालिका की भूमिका। किसी गलत आदमी को कोई तंग नहीं कर सकता है और गड़बड़ करने वाला आदमी बच भी नहीं सकता है। इसलिए कोई मामूली चीज थोड़ी है, इससे बड़ा न्याय और क्या हो सकता है, यही तो है। तो इसलिए आज आप सब लोगों के बीच में आने का मौका मिला, मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लगा। हम आश्वस्त कर देते हैं कि जो भी काम होगा, आपने अभी तो बता ही दिया कि जो कुछ भी आप लोगों ने कहा था, 5 सालों में 2035 अधीनस्थ कर्मियों के पद सृजित किए गए हैं और सिविल जज के 1033 पद सृजित किए गए हैं। आप आगे और जो समझिएगा, और बिहार की तो भाई आबादी बहुत, प्रजनन दर भी बहुत, तो इसको देखते हुए सीमा तो कभी बढ़ने वाली नहीं है, लेकिन आबादी इतनी ज्यादा है और इधर उधर कुछ भी होता है। आप और जितना चाहेंगे न्यायपालिका के लिए, हम लोग अपनी तरफ से उसके लिए आपका जो भी प्रस्ताव आएगा, मैं दूसरी बार भी कहता हूं, वचन देता हूं कि हम लोग एक एक चीज को स्वीकार करेंगे ताकि लोगों को न्याय मिले। हम यही आपको कह देना चाहते हैं। और सब लोगों को, जो इतने लोग आए हैं, आज जो शताब्दी भवन का उद्घाटन हो रहा है और कितना सुंदर भवन बन गया है, सब आप लोग इसकी प्रशंसा कर रहे हैं। सिर्फ आपको संक्षेप में हम बता देना चाहते हैं कि जब भी काम करने का मौका मिला है, हम लोगों ने हर क्षेत्र में काम किया है। चाहे सड़क का मामला हो, चाहे शिक्षा का मामला हो, स्वास्थ्य का मामला हो, किसी भी चीज में, भवन निर्माण का मामला हो, सब कुछ हो। और माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय के मुख्य न्यायाधीश महोदय यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं। अगर आपको कभी और समय मिलेगा तो हम तो चाहते हैं यहाँ का कुछ खास चीज आपको हम लोग दिखा देना चाहते हैं कि कभी देख लीजिएगा कि क्या क्या काम यहाँ पर हम लोगों ने करवाया है। और पूरे तौर पर आप समझ लीजिए कि यहाँ पर जो बना है सम्राट अशोक कन्वेंशन केंद्र, अब जो सम्राट अशोक कन्वेंशन केंद्र है उसमें क्या है, पहले ज्ञान भवन बनाया, फिर बापू सभागार बनाया और तीसरे खंड में सभ्यता द्वार। आप उसको देखिए कितना सुंदर है, किस तरह की बिल्डिंग बनी है। और इसमें एफिल टावर में लगे स्टील की मात्रा जितनी उपयोग की गई है वो सबसे ज्यादा है। जो एफिल टावर में जितना लगा है उससे भी ज्यादा यहां पर लगा। तो इस तरह से हम लोगों ने अगर इस ऐसे तरह के कामों की शुरुआत की है तो कभी कुछ न कुछ इन सब चीजों को देखने का है। बिहार संग्रहालय बना, इस देश का पहला अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर का संग्रहालय हम लोगों ने बनाया है। कभी मौका हो तो एक बार जरूर यहाँ के बिहार संग्रहालय को भी देख लीजिए कि किस तरह का ये बनाया गया है। और बिहार संग्रहालय में बहुत अच्छे ढंग से हर प्रकार से हम लोगों ने किया है काम। तो हर तरह से हम लोग चारों तरफ भी करते हैं। अब पुलिस मुख्यालय जो बना सरदार पटेल भवन, अब वो भी देख लीजिए, रिक्टर स्केल 9 तक भी आएगा, तब भी जाकर के भूकंप आने पर उसका नियंत्रण वहां पर होगा, ताकि अगर बड़े पैमाने पर भी भूकंप आता है तो वहीं से, और आपदा प्रबंधन का भी काम वहां से। तो हमने संक्षेप में इसको विस्तृत बहुत बताने की जरूरत नहीं है। हम सब लोग चाहते हैं कि हमारे माननीय न्यायपूर्ति बोबडे साहब आए हुए हैं, उनकी बात हम लोग सुने, ये खुशी की बात है। और हम सब लोगों के लिए ये बहुत ही प्रसन्नता की बात है। और हाईकोर्ट और हाईकोर्ट के दिशा निर्देश में यहाँ के न्यायपालिका और विकसित ढंग से और बेहतर ढंग से काम करती रहेगी। इससे बहुत अच्छा होगा और इससे एक विकास होगा, तेजी से विकास होगा और कई प्रकार के काम होते हैं, उन सब कामों में इसमें सहूलियत होगी। इसलिए न्यायपालिका की सबसे बड़ी भूमिका है। तो आज इस अवसर पर यहाँ आकर के इस कार्यक्रम में शामिल होकर के हम लोगों को बहुत खुशी हो रही है। और आप सब लोगों के साथ बैठने में जो मौका मिला है इसके लिए खुशी होती, नहीं तो आपके हाथ में जो अधिकार हम लोग तो चाहते हैं वो बिल्कुल पूरे तौर पर इसी तरह से चलता रहे, ताकि कोई गड़बड़ करने के बारे में नहीं सोचे और किसी भी सही आदमी को किसी प्रकार से उसके प्रति अन्याय नहीं हो सके। तो यही तो न्यायपालिका और यही तो सबसे बड़ी चीज है, न्याय है। इसलिए आप सब लोगों का मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं राज्य सरकार की तरफ से, और आप सब के प्रति मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि आप सब इस कार्यक्रम में शामिल होकर के यहां पर उपस्थित हुए हैं। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देते हुए मैं अपनी बात समाप्त करता हूं।
Thank you, sir, for your most kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, today's inaugural ceremony of the centenary building of Patna High Court would not have been completed without the benevolent presence of Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde. My Lord, the Chief Justice of India, who is also the pater familias of the Indian judicial system, has been magnanimous enough to spare some time out of his Lordship's extremely busy schedule to be the chief guest for this historic and momentous occasion of the inauguration of the centenary building of Patna High Court. Without taking much time, may I have the privilege and great honor to humbly invite Honorable the Chief Justice of India to address us on this historic occasion.
came here, I thought I'd begin my speech by saying good morning, but I can't now, so good afternoon, all of you. The Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Nitish Kumar, the Honorable Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad, Union Minister of Law and Justice and in IT, my esteemed colleagues, Justice Naveen Sinha, Judge Supreme Court of India, Justice Indira Banerjee, Judge Supreme Court of India, Justice Hemant Gupta, Judge Supreme Court of India, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Patna High Court, Shri Sanjay Karol, Shri Pandey, Judge, Patna High Court, Shri Chaudhary and Shri Pramod Kumar, Honorable Ministers in the Bihar government, our esteemed former judges, Justice B.N. Agarwal, my former Chief Justice B.P. Singh, Justice Mukundakam Sharma, Justice Gyan Sudha Mishra, Justice Mukhopadhyay, Justice Shivkirti Singh, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Jharkhand High Court, Justice Ravi Ranjan, former Chief Justices and former judges of the Patna High Court, the Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Shri Manan Mishra, the Advocate General Bihar, the Presidents of the three Bar Associations, members of the Bar, members of the print and visual media, ladies and gentlemen. Being here on the occasion of the inauguration of this building is an undiluted pleasure. I do consider myself very fortunate for having been invited to do so. And I must say the thought which is uppermost in my mind, I do not feel like I've come to a new place. Not only because of the hospitality of the Chief Justice of Patna, the warmth in the speeches of the Law Minister, the Chief Minister, but there are very old associations I have had with Bihar, Patna, particularly on the governmental side. I am from Nagpur, and two Nagpurians have been governors Bihar, Bapuji Ane and R.S. Gavai. One of the eminent Chief Justices of the Nagpur High Court was Justice B.P. Sinha. His grandson, Justice B.P. Singh, was my Chief Justice in Bombay. And I have had the pleasure of being on the bench with innumerable judges from Bihar, the last of them who is present here, Justice Naveen Sinha. It does not seem to me to be a new place, and I'm happy to be here. With the passage of almost a century for which this High Court had been seated in its majestic building, the need for its extension was felt after considering gradual rise in litigation over the years and also the increase in the strength of judges. The need for an additional building signifies not just that the number of cases being filed in court are increasing, but also that there is a greater consciousness of one's legal rights today. And most important, that courts are being resorted to for settling disputes rather than taking the law into their own hands. I was very pleasantly surprised, and I must acknowledge Shri Nitish Kumar's deep insight into the purpose of law, the purpose of the courts, and the way he stated the principle of the theory of separation of powers without mentioning it. The theory of separation of powers does not imply a hostility between the branches of the government, and it is indeed extremely elevating to hear such wonderful, realistic views which are absolutely in accordance with the Constitution. I thank you, Nitish Kumarji, on behalf of the judiciary for helping understanding the needs of the courts and for giving assistance wherever necessary. And this is something which the Chief Justice told me yesterday, and I was equally happy to hear it yesterday. The other implication of a new building is an increase in legal literacy. That is what we have been striving for. That is what we think is necessary, without, however, intending to encourage litigiousness and cantankerousness. The main building of the Patna High Court is one of the most iconic buildings in India. It is one of the oldest high courts of the world's largest democracy. It has a legacy over a century and has constructively shaped the lives of people. The building is hailed as one of the finest specimens of European architecture and turned 100 years in 2016. As the Chief Justice said, it's a neoclassical style based on a Palladian design. The grand building, formally inaugurated in 1916, is a fact which has been said many times earlier today, so I won't repeat it. Also, I would have liked to, but it's not necessary, the words with which the building was inaugurated are words which have come true today. The Patna High Court has earned a name for sound sense and good law. It has had a galaxy of intellectual stalwarts, and its corridors have many memories of great lawyers and judges who have walked through it. If the walls could speak, they'd tell many interesting tales of the great battles that took place in the courtrooms, the great resolutions through judgments. Most significant amongst the great lawyers of this country who brought the greatest glory to it and to our country was the first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Yesterday at the dinner, my brother Shivkirti Singh was telling us about stories of Justice Rajendra Prasad, and though it might take too long to recount them, it is absolutely fascinating the kind of character and the kind of principles by which Dr. Rajendra Prasad lived his life. The High Court has had the proud distinction of sending many scholarly and distinguished judges to the Supreme Court. Justice Fazal Ali to the present day judges, one of them on the dais. Two of them went on to adorn the post of the Chief Justice of India, Justice B.P. Sinha and Justice Lalit Mohan Sharma. Many great advocates like P.R. Das Syed Sultan Ahmad, Mr. Baldev Sahai, Shri B.C. Ghosh, the redoubtable Lal Narayan Sinha, Basudev Prasad, Tarak Nath Jha, and many others have walked the corridors of this court with great distinction. Shri Pranab Mukherjee, in his speech in 2015, narrated a story about an incident that took place between the then governor of Bihar and the then Chief Justice of Patna. He said, the inside story, what we in Hindi call Andar Ki Baat, is that the governor of Bihar, Lieutenant Governor Edward Gate, expressed his desire to remain present at the first session of the court and have some sort of formal inauguration of the first judicial session of the High Court. But Chief Justice Richards firmly told him no. This incident is a testament of the values and integrity this court has maintained since its inception. It also reflects the fundamental feature of the Constitution, the independence of the judiciary. This reminds me of a very interesting incident I heard from Justice Bilal Naski, with whom I was sitting in Bombay. He said that there has always been a fascination in the minds of the executive about the judicial seat. And as an example, he told me when the President of India, Abdul Kalam, visited the Hyderabad High Court, Justice Naski took him around the courtrooms and he asked Mr. Naski in a very mild voice, said, do you mind if I go and sit on the judge's chair? That was all right. That was a curiosity which he wanted to satisfy. After Justice Naski said, sure. He said, and do you mind addressing me as a lawyer there so that I can hear arguments? This is a kind of interest which the executive has expressed in the judiciary, and it is most welcome. While we regularly outline the support, financial and infrastructural, required from the state to secure the working of the judiciary, we are equally cognizant of the possibility of improvements in our functioning. In line with this sentiment, as was very accurately pointed out by
कांग्रेस भवन से आइए, देख रहे हैं लाइव बिहार। कांग्रेस का हाल बेहाल क्यों है, इसी की एक तस्वीर है ये।
Improve the efficiency of various processes now involved in justice dispensation. There is video conferencing, which we have, and I must make a public mention of the fact that since we have had the good fortune of a minister who is Minister for Law as well as Information and Technology, it was very easy to switch to the video conferencing with complete support from the government side. I have been discussing various improvements in the system. I will only mention a few. One of them is artificial intelligence. And since the Chief Minister has been so forthcoming, I will request the Chief Justice at some point of time to get an additional budget, request for an additional budget from the Chief Minister for artificial intelligence. It is something which is likely to change the face, not of decision making. The decision making will remain with the judges. It is only the speed with which the inputs are obtained that will change. I must say this once again publicly, because a lot of misapprehension has been expressed. The system of artificial intelligence which is about to be introduced is in no way going to take away the discretion of the judges in deciding a case. It is only the ease of access of information which is going to change. There are other things like digitization, e-filing, and many other things which are going to change the way we look at courts, the way we approach courts. And I must confess that at this stage, we are not sure about how readily they will be adapted and adapted to, and how readily will they come into force. On the subject of video conferencing and justice through video conferencing, I must flag something which has engaged our attention in the Supreme Court for a long time. And that is that video conferencing and the appearance of advocates from anywhere in the country, in any court in the country, and including some from abroad in the Supreme Court, has created a problem which we must acknowledge. There's no point in brushing it under the carpet. Video conferencing and the things that are necessary to have successful video conferencing are technology dependent, which means that your access is easy and efficient if you have the technology. You can buy the technology and access the courts. Now, it is a fact that everybody does not have the means to buy the equipment necessary for video conferencing at the end of the litigants, at the end of the bar. And that has created a kind of an inequality, which I mentioned earlier. And that is an inequality we must remove. One of the things we did in Delhi as an experiment, and I believe the experiment was successful, was have in a sense public kiosks to which advocates could go and litigants could access the computers installed there, which are relatively free of charge. This will require a heavy investment, I believe, from the Law Ministry and the IT Ministry, but I do hope over a period it will come. We are exploring many other facilities which they are in the formation stage. I will not discuss them, including where in places where you cannot have underground cables, whether the government will loan us their satellites. Apart from this, there is an implication of all this. I don't know if the next building is planned in India. You might not need so much space because the record rooms are going to be completely digitized. You may not need so much infrastructure because digitization does away with that. Someone said, we shape our buildings and thereafter they shape us. This is a good example. But the most significant thing to my mind is that a court building symbolizes the rule of law. What the Chief Minister called Kanun Ka Raj, and not of individuals and not of people, the rule of law. We function in the Supreme Court under the motto Yato Dharmas Tato Jayaha, which also is a statement of the rule of law. A court building houses space where for centuries people have asserted their rights and sought relief against wrongs. It is a space that has symbolized the access to rule of law for generations of people and instilled a sense of security in them. This was something we experienced during the pandemic, where in order to ensure a continued access to justice, The hearings had to be mutated from physical to virtual. As the Chief Justice said, the change of space psychologically affected the minds of litigants and lawyers and judges and created a resistance. At the same time, this change with the introduction of virtual hearings of court cases made access to justice technology dependent. And I must also point out something. The pandemic and the system of virtual hearings somehow created a negative effect on some people's minds. And we saw an unexplained increase in rage, anger, and depression amongst litigants and staff. I don't know what the reason is. But there is an initiative which we took in the Supreme Court, and that has been useful, and I would mention this before the Chief Justice here. We started mental health clinics so that people who are suffering from mental disturbance could go get counsel or get some relief there. It is therefore important, it was important to remove the stigma that is attached with approaching people for mental health. But that is something we had to do in the pandemic. And that is part of what the Chief Justice pointed out. It has changed the minds of people, the pandemic. And it has changed the way we function. Many years ago when I started practice, I was told by a senior at the bar that when you are approaching lunchtime, you make your argument short. And I think I will begin to do that, but not without mentioning some parts of the building which the Patna High Court and the government of Bihar have built. This building we saw today is a spectacular design and is spread over a symmetrical plot with a built-up area of about 32,521 square meters. The 5th-floor building is spread over 2 blocks, and the number of chambers and courtrooms of different size is about 50. There are committee rooms and a rich library. The building has been completed after bearing at least the least amount of environmental cost and is equipped with modern facilities. I would like to point out something which the Chief Justice, the environmental friendly Chief Justice has done. That there is a large peepal tree here which was about to be cut down because of the parking lot. I am told that Chief Justice Sanjay Karol has saved the tree by changing the shape of the design. Okay, the Chief Justice of the Patna High Court has done that. It is a sensitivity which should be appreciated. There is one thing, I don't know whether you have applied your mind to it or not, but it is a big problem in the Supreme Court. And that is on the miscellaneous day, it is virtually impossible to navigate the corridors of the Supreme Court. Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad might bear testimony to this fact. We have had a circulation study commissioned by an architecture firm which has told us that you can design buildings in such a way, you can regulate circulations in such a way that the corridors are not crowded. I think before the pandemic completely disappears, we could do that here in the building. This is just a thought. 2 other things I wish to point out before concluding. One is that litigation is fine and making provisions for litigation is fine. But it is time we resort to pre-litigation mediation. It may not be possible for me to explain the advantages of it, but pre-litigation mediation has a way of solving problems, both civil and criminal, which arise from the same dispute. And when that is done, it makes a big difference not only to the feeling among disputants, but also the pendency in the courts. I have been discussing this with the Honorable Law Minister about the only thing lacking which must be included in pre-litigation mediation is that the agreement must have a force of law. And that is the essence of pre-litigation mediation. I must, again in the end, congratulate the Chief Justice and the judges of the Patna High Court for this building, but also former judges. In fact, I don't want to embarrass Justice Shivkirti Singh, my former colleague, but he got himself invited to this function by saying that I am so much a part of this building that I would like to be there. This is the kind of enthusiasm which has made this possible. I wish the building, its occupants and inhabitants, the very best in the years to come. We pray that the building continues to produce great judges and great stalwarts and remain and keep up the great traditions of the Patna High Court. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, my Lord, the Chief Justice of India, for the words of wisdom. May I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Shivaji Pandey, Honorable JAD1, Patna High Court, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Mr. Justice Sarath Arvind Bobde, Chief Justice of India, Honorable Chief Minister of Bihar, Sri Nitish Kumar ji, Honorable Ravi Shankar Prasad, Union Law Minister and IT, Honorable Mr. Justice Naveen Sinha, Judge of Supreme Court of India, Honorable Ms. Justice Indira Banerjee, Judge of Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Hemant Gupta, Judge of Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Karol, Chief Justice of Patna High Court, and Honorable former Chief Justices and Honorable Judges of Supreme Court, Sri B.N. Agarwal, Honorable Mr. Justice B.P. Singh, Honorable Mr. Justice Mukundam Sharma, Honorable Mr. Justice S.J. Mukhopadhyay, Honorable Mr. Justice Gyansudha Mishra, former Chief Justices, Honorable Mr. Justice S.N. Jha, Honorable Mr. Justice U.P. Singh, Honorable Mr. Justice Reddy, Honorable Mr. Justice Ansari, and Honorable Mr. Justice Navniti Prasad Singh, and other former judges of this court. Distinguished spouses present, and Chairman of Bar Council of India, Sri Manan Mishra, Chairman of Bihar State Bar Council, Advocate General, and other Law Minister of the State of Bihar, Law Officers of Central Government, and Senior Advocates and other advocates of the Patna High Court, Chief Secretary and other officers of this state, Registrar General and other officers of this Honorable Court and subordinate judiciary, friends of media, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all the honorable dignitaries present on the dais of the dais. It is indeed a privilege and honor for me to stand here to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the High Court of Judicature at Patna on this historic and momentous occasion. I, on behalf of High Court of Patna, extend solemn vote of thanks to all honorable guests and participants for devoting their valuable time in gracing this occasion. The High Court has come into existence in the year 1960, has seen several ups and downs, but could withstand on its own strength. During the period of freedom, this institution witnessed important developments. After independence, first amendment in the Constitution was the result of this court declaring Jamindari Abolition Act to be ultra-virus. Even during the COVID period, this institution tried its best to cater the need of the litigant as they could be able to approach this court through the virtual mode, sitting in the remote corner in any part of the country. The Centenary Building complex is spread over an area of 32,521.04 square meter and will cater to the ever-growing need of the High Court and will go a long way to ensuring a hassle-free and efficacious delivery of justice for the people of the state. The state-of-art building will be a jewel in the crown of the Patna High Court. The journey of Centenary Building Complex, which started with the laying foundation stone of the building in the year 1914, has now been completed and is ready to serve the common people and afford the majesty of justice. So on this occasion, I am extremely grateful and thankful to Honorable Mr. Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde, the Chief Justice of India, for addressing and gathering the inaugurating and extending building complex of the Patna High Court. Sir, as a supreme guardian of judiciary, your esteemed presence has motivated all the members of legal fraternity of the state alike. The High Court expresses a deep sense of indebtedness and profuse gratitude for your Lordship's esteemed presence amongst us. Sir, your expertise in the field of constitutional law, criminal law, and service law will always inspiring a decision-making process, and judgment delivered by you in this field will remain as a beacon light for generations to come. The period of lockdown and thereafter has been a testing time for Indian judiciary, and your sagacity and wisdom guidance helped the steering the judiciary during this hard time will always be remembered. You have ensured the dispensation of justice delivery system be not obstructed. Your valuable thoughts and words of advice will be a motivating factor for all of us. I am extremely thankful to Honorable Chief Minister of Bihar, Sri Nitish Kumar ji, who has been associated with this project since its very inspection. Sir, a project of this magnitude was possible only by your constant support, not only in terms of the finance, but also in terms of other technical logistical help. We look forward for further support to ensure that the justice delivery mechanism in the state always work for the benefit of the common people. I am profusely thankful to our distinguished guest, Honorable Union Law Minister Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, who despite the time constraint spared his valuable time and has graced this occasion. We also take honor in this fact that he has been connected with this High Court as a member of the bar for a quite long period and had argued number of important cases. We are thankful for your words of wisdom. Now I take this opportunity to acknowledge our indebtedness to Honorable Ms. Justice Naveen Sinha, the Judge of Supreme Court of India, for his kind presence. We all take pride in the fact that your Lordship has been a part of this institution, both as a member of bar and also the member of bench. Thank you, Lord Sir, for your constant support. Now I take opportunity to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Ms. Justice Indira Banerjee, who have been always espoused the cause of life and personal liberty, and your judgments on this point reflect your wisdom. Thanks a lot for gracious presence in this occasion. I thank Honorable Mr. Justice Hemant Gupta ji, the Judge of Honorable Supreme Court of India, for his kind presence. During your short tenure, you tried to introduce a lot of changes in the judicial and administrative side. I now wish to express our humble and most sincere thanks to Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Karol, Chief Justice of Patna High Court, for having ensured that the entire project is completed. The tireless effort and your constant guidance made the task easy. Even the restraint placed on account of pandemic failed to dampen your spirit. You worked tirelessly to ensure that the work of the court is not hampered. You started the virtual court proceeding in the High Court during the lockdown period and continued after lockdown, and thereby earning the distinction for disposal of the highest number of cases. I also express my heartfelt gratitude to all honorable judges of Patna High Court who have contributed their fullest to ensure that not only the building complex is completed, but also that today's function becomes successful. I wish to express my thanks to Law Minister of the State of Bihar for having graced this occasion. I feel it is my bounden duty to thank all honorable judges of this court who at different times held office and have graced the occasion today. We acknowledge their effort in conceptualizing the idea of additional building complex and also in initiating the project, which will always remain a part of the August institution. I would like to thank the official of the Public Works Department, engineers, contractors and other staff for having put their labor to ensure that such a magnificent structure is completed. I thank the member of the registry of this court, led by Registrar General, who have worked hard and tirelessly to make the function a great success. I would also like to thank to member of press, media covering the function. Our praise are also for the officer of the state government for their generous help and active support. The construction of building is only half of the work done. Now it is upon us to ensure that we turn this building into a monument by working entirely till the justice reaches to the last man in the society. We will not rest till then. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the esteemed members of the bar and all invited guests physically or virtually in this grand occasion. So thank you a lot to all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Your Lordship, for the vote of thanks. Before announcing the culmination of the inaugural ceremony, may I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.